Hello and welcome to Politics Today, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Ozam, and of course, it's all about tracking what's going on in the polity. But let's tell you first that Governor Siminalayi Fubara has dissolved local government councils in Rivers State, directing heads of administration in that state to take charge immediately as groups loyal to the governor have taken over local government secretariat amidst chaos and what is considered an easy camp, and some chairmen are insisting they are still in charge of those local government. That is one of the focus of the conversation today. Now, the other part is the fact that in about 3 months from now, residents of Edo State will be heading to the polls to decide who succeeds Governor Godwin Obaseki. One of the top contenders will be joining us today on Politics Today to bring highlight as to how prepared is he to take over the reins of power if he eventually wins that governorship seat. But hey, let's break it down for you as to what happened today in Rivers State, beginning with the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara convening a Security Council meeting with heads of security agencies following recent political development in the state. The meeting was held behind closed doors at the government house in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. After the meeting, Governor Fubara told the press or journalists that discussions with the security heads centered on strategies to contain the invasion of local government secretariat. He also cautioned the immediate past council chairmen against harboring false hopes of returning to their positions. Governor Fubara, however, raised an alarm of an alleged plan by his opponents to arrest his supporters. He pledged to personally protect them, certain that anyone attempting to arrest any of his people would have to confront him first. Maybe we'll take a listen to what the governor said.
We have ordered the head of local governments to be in charge while they wait for further directives. It's really unfortunate that we started hearing some disturbing news from some LGAs of invasion of council secretariats, and it's really, really unfortunate. So we have called the Security Council meeting so that the needful will be done. We are also aware that our enemy is also planning a lot of things, but we will not fall into that plot where we will allow him or them to destroy the peace that we're enjoying in the state. Let me also say this. I am also aware that there is also a grand plan to come and arrest some of our supporters. This time around, you have to pass through me to arrest them, because I don't think there is anything that any of those people following us have done rather than stand on the side of truth. If it will cost us our life to stand on the part of truth, we will do that, and I will be the one that will lead this cause. Let me assure everyone, more especially the great and peace-loving people of Rivers State, the law is the law. The law has said that there is no extension of tenure. The court said so. And whoever is assuring anybody anywhere of whatever, I advise them to desist from it.
Well, that is coming from the Chief Executive Officer, as they are called, or Chief Security Officer of the state, the Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. But if we can get some of the visuals of what happened earlier today, we saw some sort of people loyal to the governor taking over some of the secretariat from Akpata to Port Harcourt local government area to other local government areas of the state. So if you followed what's going on in the news, even on social media, you'd have seen some of those videos across social media. It's been all over the place. And some people saying they've taken over the local government council because of the pronouncement of the governor. Now, for the records, the council, it ended yesterday. Their tenure ended yesterday. But let's bring, so those are the visuals. This should be Asari Toru local government area of Rivers State, one of the local government area where we saw you taking over the secretariat. They say they're preventing anyone from coming in to take over anything that belongs to the government since their tenure has elapsed. So we saw this scenario in Port Harcourt local government. We saw it in other local government areas. And so the situation in some part is easy, some part is not as as friendly as it should be. So we're following development in the state as much as possible. But let's bring some context to what is going on in Rivers State. Just for those people who may want to understand exactly what is happening. Now, since the administration of Governor Siminala Efubara, there has been issues. The feud between him and his political godfather, the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike. And that escalated to a point where laws were being amended and they vetoed the governor. Now, relying on Section 64 of the Rivers State LG Laws number 5 of 2018, Martins Amiewule-led House of Assembly amended Section 9(2) of the same law to extend the tenure of local government chairmen for 6 months where an election fails to take place. Now, the Opoponkoro local government chairman, Enyada Kukigam, and others challenged that amendment at the State High Court. Justice DGQ ruled in his favor, nullifying the extension of tenure, citing two laws, the 1999 Constitution as amended and Section 9(1) of the State Local Government Administration Law number 5 of 2018. Now, in another case at the State High Court, an interlocutory injunction was granted to Mr. Victor Okojombo, who is the person that is the speaker now, by Justice Charles Wale, restraining Martins Amiewule and 26 others from parading themselves as lawmakers following their defection to the APC from the PDP, perhaps implying they lost their seats. Dissatisfied, Amiewule-led lawmakers approached the Court of Appeal. The court refused to vacate that order, rather ordered for stay of proceedings and ordered parties to maintain status quo antebellum. Thereafter fixed June the 20th, which is just 2 days from now, Thursday, for hearing. However, 21 of the 23 local government chairmen insist they will continue in office after their tenure expires on June the 17th, which was yesterday. They were citing Section 9(2) of the Rivers State Law amended number 4 of 2024. Now, June 18th, which is today, 2024, Governor Siminala Efubara dissolves the local government council and directs heads of local government administration to take charge of duties pending further directive. So that is the situation we found ourselves in Rivers State. Just to give a bit of an overview of how things got to where they are right now, which is why you're hearing the governor speak the way he is, and some other people speaking. The governor said the things he said, and some other people saying the things also they are saying. We're going to make sense of all of this in the second part of the conversation, but we will track other stories on our political roundup stories. When we come back, we'll be talking to the Labour Party governorship candidate in Edo State, Mr. Olumide Akpata, who will be talking to us about his plans for Edo State. And then we'll get into that conversation with two gentlemen whose tenure has ended in Rivers State, but they are insisting they are still in charge. Samuel Nwanosike and Mr. George of Asari Toro local government. It's going to be a big conversation, but let's take our political roundup stories first.
The President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, says Nigeria might not be experiencing banditry today if the country had not changed its anthem in 1978. He made this remark during a visit to the Nigerian Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies in Abuja. Senator Akpabio highlights the recent national anthem bill as one of the 10th Assembly's most appealing pieces of legislation. He also mentioned the Students' Loan Bill as another significant bill passed by the Assembly.
When people are saying, oh, we are bringing you colonial anthem, please look into the history of the Nigeria we held the
Rivers State Governor Siminala Efubara has directed the heads of administration in the 23 local government areas to take over from the elected council chairman whose 3-year tenure elapsed at midnight on Friday. Governor Efubara in a state broadcast says the decision is in line with the provision of the Constitution and the need to ensure peace and order in the state. He appreciated the efforts and dedication of the immediate past council chairman to public services.
I hereby direct head of local government administration to continue to provide leadership in their respective local government areas.
In the development regarding the political crisis in Rivers State, the chairman of Asari Toro and Akoko Toro local government councils, who faced the barricade earlier today, have expressed their commitment to maintaining peace and ensuring no loss of life amidst the disagreement over the local government area tenure extension amended by the Martins Amiewule-led Assembly. At a joint news briefing at Bugoma, the headquarters of Asari Toro Council, the chairman of Akoko Toro, Mr. Roland Sekibo, explaining that the matter is currently before the court and is not their fault that the Assembly extended their tenure by amending the Local Government Act. To Kogi State in the north-central region, where Governor Usman Ododo is calling on the people of the state to unite and build a state that will be a source of pride to all, irrespective of tribe and religion. The governor made the call during a statewide broadcast. In the meantime, a group of women, under the aegis of Kogi East United Women, took to the streets in the state capital, urging unity amongst all the ethnic groups in Kogi State.
I wish to urge my Muslim brothers and sisters to seize this opportunity of these festive periods to pray for our leaders and seek the face of Allah for the prosperity of our dear nation.
And in Taraba State, Governor Agbu Kefa says his administration will collaborate with the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineers in the construction of 91.8-kilometer roads across 16 local government areas of the state. The partnership also includes the provision of portable water to residents in Jalingo, Ibi, and Ukari towns. Speaking during a meeting with the officials of the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineering, Governor Kefa says his administration is focusing on addressing the infrastructure deficit in the state.
We want to assess areas that we can assess and that we need the work to be done in such a way that it will stand test of time.
Welcome back. So let's get to the conversation of the day. But news just coming in shows that a policeman and a member of a vigilante has been killed in Omoma local government area of River State. So that is what we're getting from our correspondent in River State. And this is where the fears we had about things escalating. So a policeman and a vigilante killed in Omoma local government area. As soon as we get details of how that's happened, we'll let you know. As we await to catch up with the two local government chairmen who tenure ended yesterday, let's have this conversation with the Labour Party governorship candidate in Edo State, Mr. Olumide Akpata.
How are you?
I'm very well. Welcome to the program.
Eid Mubarak.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays.
Welcome. So, well, let's begin with some things that I know you spoke to on the social media, which I feel that is an opportunity as well to speak to the greater Nigerian population as well as the people of Edo State. What happened at the Oba's Palace? I read your statement where you're speaking to both people that are supporting you, people that are against you, saying, look, don't push the narrative beyond what it was. Maybe you give us a bit of a recap of what happened at the palace and what the interventions were and why you responded with that statement.
So I'm a Benin man, right? And I have nothing but the utmost respect and reverence for the throne of the Oba of Benin, our royal father. On that day, on Saturday, we went to visit with our royal father after we had done the flag off for our campaign, which was led by our national leader, former presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. So we went to the palace to visit to pay homage to Omonoba Nedoku Akpolokpolo Ewari II. And in the course of my addressing him, I inadvertently referred to myself as a son of the palace, when what was intended was that I am a son of the soil. I'm an indigenous Benin man and all of that. And my royal father, in his usual candor, said, no, you're not a son of the palace. You are an indigenous son of Benin. And correction well taken, and I was very grateful for him setting the record straight. And it was totally harmless, totally very educating, and very enlightening for me to understand. You know, these things are important. Tradition, culture, and tradition. You know, you don't get it wrong. You get it wrong, and a misstep could be fatal. If you know what I mean. And so I was corrected. And end of story. It ought to have ended there. You know, it ought to have ended there, if not for politics and irresponsible politicians. And so his words were taken out of context, twisted by those who have another agenda of their own. And you had the headlines, screaming headlines. You are not a son of the palace. Omonoba shocks LP gubernatorial candidate. You are not a son of the palace. Akpata, stunned by Omonoba's statement. these are the kind of headlines that were being churned out. Of course, on social media, all sorts of
you were actually trending.
Oh, so it was trending. All sorts of perspectives and all sorts of they attempted to manipulate to twist what my Oba has said. And so I was forced to issue a statement, the one you have just referred to, where, before I say that, so some others who are my friends and well-wishers, of course, took umbrage at the comments of these other persons, and it now became as we say, basbos, and a basbos situation. And then I was getting really worried because tempers tempers flared in more than one occasion, on more than one occasion, hot exchanges. And so I had to make that statement to set the record straight. It was a glorious moment for me, firstly, because my royal father confirmed to the world that I am a true Bini son. That you may not understand why that is an issue, because for me, in the course of my political career, the very short political career, one issue that has dogged my entry into politics is the question as to whether I am actually a Bini man or not. I'm one of those Bini people who answer Yoruba names. So in Benin City, my Benin-ness has been called to question now and again. So it was, it was a fantastic day for me because none other than the monarch himself confirmed to the world that Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata is an illustrious indigenous true Benin man. So the other aspect of whether I inadvertently referred to myself as a son of the palace, because what my Onoba was saying to us was that the sons of the palace, the daughters of the palace, are the princes and princesses. Definitely, I have never held myself out as one. So it was that was just storm in a teacup.
All right. So there are so many things I intend to unpack within the short time we have in this conversation. One of which is the atmosphere within the polity. So let's start within your party. We've seen a bit of, maybe at the national level, we saw Peter Obi, the presidential candidate, come to lift your hands and all of that on Saturday, but we haven't seen the presence of the national chairman of the party. What is really going on?
Well, I had every assurance that our national chairman will be in Benin on Saturday, and what reaching me now is to the effect that he was unable to make it as a result of certain circumstances beyond his control. Because members of his National Working Committee, all of them, bar one or two, were there. And they informed me that they had all planned to come in as a team. So it was quite, it was disappointing, and I was really sad that he couldn't make it. But I have received assurances that for the next events he will be there. But having said that, I will not play the ostrich and pretend to you that there are no issues within the Labour Party. There are issues in the Labour Party. There are issues in other parties. Every human organization has its own moments. And we are in one such moment at the Labour Party where all sorts of issues, the NLC have come forward to say that the tenure of the current chairman has expired. In Edo State, the national chairman has announced that he has disbanded the state working committee. One particular young man in the state attacked the secretariat, Gestapo style, and established himself as state chairman, all sorts of things. But it's as they would say, it's par for course. It's normal. It's a normal occurrence particularly in election season. Political parties have their own issues. I, however, believe that the Labour Party, our internal mechanisms are robust enough to deal with whatever issues we have.
But the other issue within your party is the fact that some members of the Obedience are declaring, which is the core strength of the Labour Party, we must say, are declaring support for the governorship candidates of other parties, including the PDP and the APC. Does that bother you in terms of how things will play out eventually for this election that's coming up in September?
Well, it's a democracy. You understand? So Labour Party, Peter Obi, we've never held ourselves out as authoritarian or autocratic. You know, there is freedom of association, freedom of expression. If there are some, and I'm yet to actually see them, right? I'm yet to, maybe I would need to know where they are, who they are. I'm yet to see them. I hear all these things, you know. If you not be Panadol, you not feel be like Panadol. You understand what I mean? We hear that some parties now say we are PDP obedient, APC obedient. You know, success has many fathers. Failure is an orphan. So it's very convenient now for other parties to claim that they are now wings or factions of the obedient movement. Like I said, you know, everybody has a right to express themselves. On the 21st of September, when we go to the polls, we will see whether or not all of this is of any moment. I think it's just, you know, normal. In where I come from, we call it IGGs, initial gragra. It's nothing really to worry about. Yet there are a few people who want to side with other political parties, and they're free to do that. What you don't hear is that there are many people from those parties who are moving to the Labour Party. So it's the nature of the game, nature of the beast.
Now, the other big elephant in the room is that we've been following the polity in Edo State, and one of the concerns people have in your candidacy, initially they said, oh, Mr. Akpata is a mole in the Labour Party. He's sent by the PDP or the governor to come and split votes. That was initially.
Now they're giving up on that one.
Another argument is the fact that if you follow the principle of equity, some are saying it is not morally right for you to even run for governor, given that Governor Obaseki, who is from Edo South, is just going to hand over to whoever wins the election in September. So naturally, they should gravitate to Edo Central, which is why perhaps the other two political parties were headed to Edo Central. What would you be telling and trying to convince Edo Central people to vote for you, given the fact that they feel that you're cheating by not allowing them to have their quote-unquote turn in this whole race?
So this argument has been amplified by politicians who what they do, this is what they do best, try to drive a wedge between otherwise united people, right? The Beninese and the Asians are one, right? We normally coexist peacefully together, right? What I've told them, and mark you, I have Ishan or Asan people who are members of the Labour Party, right? And if you will recall that at our primaries, I garnered 316 out of the available 340 plus votes, 316. Plenty Asan people voted for me at the primaries. And that will be replicated or repeated at the polls, because my message is that development and good governance really knows no tribe. So when you say morally wrong, I say in whose book is it morally wrong? Zoning is okay. Zoning according to political parties. You don't transplant the zoning arrangement in one party to another. So at the Labour Party, we opened up the contest for the best man. We put our best foot forward. I emerged. And that is what we're selling to the entire people of Edo State. Good governance is not about tribe. When the Labour Party, by the grace of God, we emerge as victorious at the polls, we can institutionalize zoning. You know, having started from the Edo South zone. You can't take the PDP arrangement or the APC arrangement and try to impose it on the Labour Party. Everyone is in this game to win. You know, and that argument we put forward to the people of Edo Central. Within the Labour Party, they've accepted it. I am heading out there next week to talk to the people, and I'm quite sure that they will be convinced by our argument. Okay,
just a last question for you on this one. Now, when Governor Obaseki took over, the debt profile of the state, by domestic debt 45 billion, I think foreign debt about 183. Now he's leaving with 123 billion in terms of domestic and about 314 in terms of foreign debts. Though the IGR has grown about 200%. How are you going to fix this in maybe 30 seconds?
Well, for me, first and foremost, it's worrying that our debt profile, if you aggregate both numbers, we're heading towards 600 billion. Those are the numbers I have. It's worrying, not because I have a problem with debt, but because of the fact that I really can't see on ground what the debt was used for or the money was used for. How are you going to handle that? You need to, well, increase your earnings. You know what I mean? Spend a little bit more on debt servicing. It's unfortunate. It's going to be our albatross. We're going to have to bear it. But any responsible government will pay its debts. And I'm sure that with some deep thinking and some inventive approaches to financing, we should be able to pay our debt. But the most important thing is that our party, we are for Papa, Mama, Pikin. What is most important is whether you borrow or whether you, by federal allocation, your income or the debt you borrow should be used for the people. And that is what we are telling Edo people. Labour Party will use their money for them.
Olumide Osagbovo Akpata, Labour Party governorship candidate in Edo State. We wish you the very best ahead of the election. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm hoping, like everybody else, that things will cool down in River State. We are worried. We're all very worried.
Absolutely.
And may the souls of the departed rest in peace.
Thank you for your concern.
Thank you.
All right, so we will take this quick break and get to that River State conversation now that we have our guests ready. Two local government chairmen who had said they are not going anywhere. Onyengil Fori George of Asaritori local government area and Samuel Nwanosike of Ikwere local government area will be joining us on the program to give us their perspective on this Rivers issue. Join us again. Back. Let's bring you the latest coming in from River State, that the local government crisis that has engulfed that state following the end of the tenure of the 23 chairmen of that state and in the local government area are seeing people invading or taking over local government council. And we've just gotten information that a policeman and a vigilante person has just been killed in Omuma, somewhere in Eberi, Omuma, in Omuma local government area. Although details are quite unclear, but the police has confirmed that 2 people were killed. They are still investigating. The fears are that this may not be unconnected with the incident going on across parts of the state. You heard the governor, if you were part of the show from the beginning, talking about is ready to lead from the front and is giving directive for head of administration in the local government areas to take over affairs of the administration of the local government, which is why we're having this conversation, because some chairmen in the local government areas are insisting that following the amended law by the Martin Ame Wule-led House, they are still members or they are still chairmen of local government. So what is really going on? Let's see how we can make sense of the situation. We're being joined in the program by the former chairman of Ikwere local government area, Mr. Samuel Nwanosike, as well as Mr. George Onengilfori of Asari local government area. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. The correction.
Can you hear me, gentlemen?
I hear you clearly. I hope you're hearing me.
All right. Mr. Nwanosike, can you hear me? I want to start with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. I'm trying to make a correction because you just made a little mistake. They said in democracy, you people are the third rank. I don't know how it's said, but when you paint the wrong narrative, you energize the wrongdoings that is going on in our system.
Mr. Nwanosike, I understand your position. Just hold on. Just hold your fire. I'm not the law. I'm not the lawyer. I'm not the court of... the governor had said your tenure has ended, which is why you're coming here to say, to defend your own case. And that's why I want to ask the very first question, because your local government was the local government that a lot of concerns were in, given the fact that you had clearly said that nobody should come near after 17 because by the laws amended, you're still in charge. Are you still in charge? What's going on in the Ikwere local government area headquarters?
By the ruling of Justice Omotosho of the 24th of
All right, it appears we're having network connection issues with Nwanosike's line, Mr. Nwanosike. As soon as we reconnect with him, we'll talk to him. But let's get to Onengilfori George, the former chairman of Asaritori local government. Mr. Onengilfori, I know you also asked me to rephrase, but just allow me to say within the context of what we're dealing with. Are you still in charge of your local government?
Yes, for now, I'm still in charge. I'm still the local government chairman by the law. Okay,
what's your premise of insistence that you're still the chairman of Asari local government area. Maybe you will help us understand.
The local government is controlled. The law is given by the assembly, House of Assembly that coordinates us. They do the law for us. And by the law of Martin Samuel being the speaker, the 10th Assembly said there is no caretaker in the River State local government law. And they have amended and said, where there is no elected people, we cannot hand over to. On that process, right now, the governor and the House of Assembly, they are in court, which the court, they are in appeal. The appeal said 20th of this month. Like my own place, on Sunday, at the eve of Sunday, at the early hour, some gunmen went in to invade the place. That was Sunday, breaking Monday, being a public holiday. When I get that information, I move into the council and addressed to talk to them. I saw all what happened there, called the commissioner of police, and the police people came in, and they said, our tenure by that 17th, they said by that was 16th, that our tenure will be end on the 16th, on the 17th. For now, the governor has made his broadcast, but I still believe that he needs to wait and obey the law because I'm still in charge.
Hello?
When you called me early,
not be calling me for a program. I want to talk. You got to put me off. And you standing for.
Mr. George, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'll be starting.
All right, Mr. George.
Yeah.
Just land on your thoughts. I don't know what happened. Just land on your thoughts so that I can ask my next question.
When you called me, the earlier while you called me, I was still in the council premises till close of hours of the web getting dark. Because of this meeting, I came into a place where I can talk with you. That's why. So I'm still in charge. I'm still the council chairman.
Let me see whether I can take the conversation to Mr. Nwanosike. Mr. Nwanosike, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's a debate around the law, and we're very careful here because we would not want to speak to issues that are still subject of adjudication. But I hope you're aware that the suit instituted by Okojombo, which has to do with Amewule and the other lawmakers parading himself as lawmakers in the State House of Assembly, the Court of Appeal actually said they ordered for a stay of proceeding and ordered parties to maintain status quo ante bellum. Thereafter fixed next tomorrow, which is June the 20th, for hearing. In your view, what is status quo ante bellum? Because that's where everybody seemed to be having a contention. What is the position? What was the position before the hostility?
First of all, if you permit me, before I answer that question, if we truly are running a constitutional democracy, and
oh dear.
Democracy should run. I've called on the NBA. I have called on the National Judicial Council. They have invited the Chief Justice of Kano State over bigger issues happening. But we are shocked that in that of River State, everybody just went mute. That we have a ruling judgment of court from Justice Omotosho that happened on the 24th of January this year on this same subject matter. And all the prayers and all the decisions that were, all the relief that was granted to those people that approached the court. This does not.
All right, Mr. Nwanosike, I don't know. Maybe you have to shift to somewhere. My apologies.
First,
oh dear.
I am hearing you clearly, and Nigerians are hearing me.
Yeah. We're hearing you, but we're not hearing everything you're saying. Sometimes we can't hear what you're saying. But just hold on for a moment. Okay. Just hold on for a moment. I'll come back to you. But let me give the audience a bit of a perspective as to what is going on, which is a debate around the laws and all of that. So if my producer can help me. Now, there is the River State Local Government Law number 5 of 2018. The Section 1 says the tenure of the office of the chairman and members of the elected local government council is 3 years, which was what the judge, Justice Kyo, relied on to actually rule on the particular case of the extension of their tenure. So if they can get me that particular law, this is not. So if we can get Section 9(1) of the law.
Hello, sir.
Now, just hold on, Mr. Nwanosike. Mr. Nwanosike, just hold on, so that will create a premise for the audience to understand. Now, Section 2 says a member of council shall cease to hold office on a date fixed by the governor within 3 months after the expiration of the period of 3 years from the date of swearing in of elected members of that council. This is according to the initial law. The amended one, which is what is scrolling now, ruled out situation where if there is no election or a situation of war and River State is involved, the River State House of Assembly passed a resolution to extend the period of 3 years mentioned in subsection 1 of this section from time to time, but no such extensions are exceed period of 6 months at any time. What all of this grammar simply means is that if there's no election after their tenure, they can continue ab initio as local government chairman, which is what Mr. Nwanosike is relying on. Mr. Nwanosike, my question actually is, I have to do that explain now so that the audience can understand what the old law says, or what the 2018 law says, I should say, and what the amended law says. What are you relying on as antebellum? Because that's what the appeal court said when the issue of the status of the local government, of the lawmakers was brought to their attention, because it's about whether they were real members of the House of Assembly when they made this law. That's the answer I need from you, sir.
The answer I'm giving you, by the ruling of Justice Omotosho on the 24th of January this year, Martins Abewule and the other 27 lawmakers are the true assembly after the governor. So, not funded them, and I've had, but they were law in River State. It is not a problem. All the governor needed to do was to go to court of appeal to appeal that matter. Right. But what you want to give credence to is that the governor from.
Okay, I don't know. Mr. Nwanosike, as soon as we get a better connection from you, we'll talk to you. But let's go to Mr. Nyengefori George. Mr. Nyengefori George, I just reeled out the two laws, the 2018 Local Government Administration Law, as well as the 2024 that is amended. And I was asking about status quo antebellum because why I related to that is because the bone of contention here is the status of the lawmakers as to whether which law should be relevant in this situation. But another issue I want to raise with you is this is now taking a form of ethnic dimension. Are you worried as a local governor, permit me to say former local government chairman, of how this is taking another dimension? We've seen 2 deaths already. If you can give me those answers, sir.
Well, it's unfortunate that we are now living in Banana Republic in River State. River State has been a very peaceful for the past 8 years. And our leader, the former governor, and today the FCT minister, be able to hand over. This is the first time in the history of River State, hand over to a successor. And today, we have entered one chance, going back to the worst system. My dear brother, what is happening in River State is a place that you won't believe, where unconventional gunmen have turned to special force, moving around local government by local government. It is a shameful what River State, the garden city of Nigeria. have turned to. You know, the medias, you are doing your best, but it's good to be on ground to see eyewitness. Like my local government, you see where people will wear special force, people you know them, maybe you know them, you know them one-on-one, wearing a special force, carry gun. And that's the state we are living.
So I want to ask you, I want to ask you, you are from the Calabar ethnic nationality. Maybe you give us an overview of what is going on, because it was from Degema, Asari Toro, and Akuku Toro we first saw visuals of people saying they are coming to, protect the property of government in those local government areas. And we saw Elijah Asari Dokubo talking about the fact that your tenure, all of you have ended, and that for peace to reign, let everybody just, retire back and obey the law. Now, the question is, which law are we obeying? So what is the situation in Asari Toru, in Akuku Toru, which is close to you, and Degema, just before you get to Asari and Akuku Toru?
Thank you. The so-called tenor they are talking about. I'm an Ijaw man. I'm a Calabari man. If the tenor of the chairman elapses, is it on conventional government that will come and chase out the council chairman? You see, I have earlier said that we have turned into banana republic, where anybody can come in and start to do anything they like. I've been a local government chairman since I have never seen where in my council we have problem. There is no problem. On Monday is public holiday. Who is in that council that they go to take over with government? The pictures are there. Even the divisional police, the DPO, cannot access the place because they came in with their guns and everything.
All right, Mr. George, if I'm a button, I want to make sure we get the view of Mr. Nwanosike, but network, Mr. Nwanosike, I don't know where you are. Maybe you just shift a bit, make some relocation so that we can hear you clearly. The network is interrupting the conversation we're having with you. So it's a network issue. And we have to have a conversation for everybody to be part of it. But let me establish again, Mr. Nwanosike, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Nwanosike.
You clear? And here you is showing me your producer is the one that is unmuting me. Is the one that is barring me from speaking.
No,
and why the producer is doing that, I don't understand.
Mr. Nwanosike,
you have to give me,
Mr.
opportunity to tell the world the truth.
Mr. Nwanosike,
you're not being
Mr. Nwanosike,
you have a program and you are selling the wrong narrative to Nigerians.
Mr. Nwanosike, we are not, Mr. Nwanosike, please. Mr. Nwanosike, if you can hear me, Mr. Nwanosike, if you can hear me, this won't help anyone. We've invited you to have a conversation, so we can't invite you and buy you. It's not possible. It's a conversation. It's a democracy. So let's be clear. Nobody's trying to buy you. Nobody's trying to do it. Mr. Nwanosike, so just hold on. So let's get to the substance of the conversation. Your network is bad. Let's be clear.
Okay.
So within the network, we're trying to...
It's not bad. No,
Mr. Nwanosike, can you hear me? Just calm down. So, where do we go from here? I just have barely a few more minutes so I can take your closing thoughts. Where do we go from here?
Yes, but we have to go on upholding the Constitution, and he has to govern Rivers people in accordance with the Constitution. The governor cannot have for staff who is leading government, local government by local government, and we have visuals and photographs all over social media showing Edison Ehie, who led people to burn down the vessels for assembly and court, and men went to the local, broke into and destroyed our local government with chief court, and known ending. the issue. The commissioner of Rivers State for standing up to this occasion. If not for the Nigerian police, what is happening today would have gone haywire. As I speak, I'm standing in front of Ikoro Local Government Council. Nigerian police have sealed the council. We are standing in front of them. And after this broadcast now, we will go. We will allow the Nigerian police to take over the council. But the truth must be told. The governor cannot sit in his office, use his broadcast democracy at the third tier. He doesn't have that power. He doesn't. The laws, even the one they are talking about Kyo, did not say that the governor should announce local government workers to come and run administration. It's not done by our law. The Justice Omotoso's judgment says clearly, no caretaker, conduct election. The governor had since 24th of January this year till now, just 3 months to give notice for a local government election to be conducted like other governors have done. And now the assembly, looking at this crisis coming up now, say no, because we are here, let's amend this constitution so the governor will have another 3 months to do a proper election. I don't see why the governor will abandon a judgment of court and go for an interim injunction. I'm not a lawyer. From record, you go to an interim injunction given by Kyo that the last 7 days ago. Sir, the point is clear. The governor and the House of Assembly, and even with the local government chairman, we have also come back to another appeal. And the appeal said, everybody sees hostility. No action should be taken until all matters are heard from 20th. Why is the governor in a hurry to do a press conference? As we speak, the governor has chosen people to appear before Oko Jumbo. But it's not even known by any law.
No, Mr. Wanasuke, if I may button,
was suspended.
Mr. Wanasuke, if I may button, you've raised a question, you've raised a point. Let me bring that question. Now, I do not think, to the best of my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, that the judgment by Justice Q has been set aside, which cited Section 7.1 of the 1999 Constitution, democratically elected, and also cited the Local Government Administration Law of 2018, which is the reason why he ruled in favor of the people that instituted the suit. Has that suit been, judgment been set aside?
Hold on. I am asking you, has the judgment of Justice Omotoso been set aside?
You are in the storm. You will let me know.
Justice Omotoso was given 24th of January. A federal high court put Section 272 gives power to have discussion on this matter. And they gave a ruling. Instead of the governor going to appeal this matter, he decides to come to a Rivers State court that is in control and gets an injunction. Even the injunction he got from Kyo, did the injunction talk about all the laws? They handled only one aspect of the law. That is why we have gone back to Court of Appeal. We are law-abiding people. Our colleagues took us to court. The two of them that took us to court, their names have been mentioned in the new technical court. It's not a problem to us. But what we are saying, we want the president of this nation, the chief justice of this nation, to come to Rivers State and sort this matter via judiciary. And chairmen, please, we beg you, stop putting on your slogan that youth of Rivers State are in their homes. They do not take over the council. People taking over council are militants, land grabbers, and criminals. It's on record. We have lost
that's your position. We will not take your Mr. Wanasuke, just hold on. Just hold on. Mr. Wanasuke, will not hold on, Mr. Wanasuke, just a minute, okay, so that we can have a conversation. You can't characterize everybody who came out to do whatever it is, because they will also say you're a militant, you're a criminal, and all of that, because your people also stood to defend the council. Nobody's characterizing anybody, so I don't want us to use the platform and characterize everybody. Everybody is trying to follow what they think is the understanding of the law. Let me go to Mr. George Onengilfori on this particular one. Mr. George, if I may, on this, as we begin to wind down on this, the conversation at the end of the day looks to me like if there is a conversation between the FCT minister and the governor, some of these things will be relaxed and there will be some level of way forward. Do you see that happening given how things have escalated so far, Mr. George?
Well, the governor is the governor. The yam and the knife and the yam is with him. He should abide by the law. Justice Omotoso give a judgment. He did not obey it. The court said, appeal, said 20th, did not obey it. And he feel he can use, just like Dr. Wanasuke said that militants, and you said it's youth, Rivers youth. It's not Rivers youth. gunmen, Rivers youth will carry gun on everywhere. In my local government, the gun they are carrying, are they youth? I'll be shouting, calling the Nigeria police, calling Inspector General of Police. So this is the governor. He knows what he's doing. The yam and the knife and the yam is with him. Whatever thing he do, but he's not bigger than Rivers State. Nobody, no life. Now today we have lost our Nigeria police, the young man that the family that will take care of their family, the people that will take care of their family, their life have gone. Not because, just because you don't want to pay. You want to put in your people according to you. You want structure.
All right, Mr. Judge. Let me go back to Mr. Wanasuke in closing thought. Just my apologies, please. My apologies. Because of time, I think I have barely a minute, 30 seconds each. Your closing thought. Mr. Wanasuke, I'll come first to you in 30 minutes as we wrap this up.
Yeah, I want to have an opportunity to have this discussion properly, 1 full hour with you, so that the truth will be told to the world. A lot of lies are being sold to the world. This is not enough time. I am telling channels, give me an opportunity. I am not a lawyer, but I have all the facts because I am an interested party in this matter. And let me say, we are still council chairman until a court of competent jurisdiction says otherwise. The governor cannot say we are no more council chairman because he did a press conference. His press conference has no place in the laws of Rivers State. Right. It is obvious that the Nigerian police have done their bit. We will obey the police because we are not lawless people. And we will wait for the court of appeal to take the proper decision. But I want the media, please, call NJC. Justice Omotosho cannot give a ruling 24th of January this year, and it will be ignored.
All right. Mr. Wanasuke, we get the point. Thank you so much. We get the point. The prayer is that everybody maintains the peace at the end of the day, so that we don't record the deaths that we're recording already as far as this issue is concerned. But I must thank you both, Mr. Samuel Wanasuke of Ikwere local government area and Onengio Fori George of Asari local government area. Gentlemen, thank you so much, and we wish you guys the very best.
Thank you.
Well, that's it on the program. Thanks so much for your time and, of course, your usual company. And we pray that the peace will be restored in Rivers State. I'm Jeffrey Uzonga. God bless Nigeria.